Hello plant lovers, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing some repotting, possibly some other things too, just some kind of general plant chores. I'm just going to see what I get time to do, and I do apologise if there's more background noise today because I have to have the windows open unfortunately because it's quite a hot day, so I'm really sorry about that. The first thing I want to get done is to repot this Moonshine snake plant. This one is in desperate need of a repot. I can also feel that the pot is kind of busting out of the pot, so yeah, this one definitely needs to be repotted. Not sure yet what size I will have to go to, but we will see what the roots look like in there. Yeah, it may be noisier than usual today outside because football is on today and people tend to go a bit nuts shouting. So let's see. This is a bit of a struggle to get this one out. Wow. Got some amazing roots there. Look at that. So this substrate has a lot of perlite and other things in it. So it's going to be really well draining for this one. Okay, so that's one down. And the next one I want to do is going to be repotting this Aglaonema. And I've had this one for a little while now and it hasn't been repotted yet, so I just want to make sure that it hasn't got anything weird going on in there. Give it some new substrate, you know, make sure it's healthy under there. I usually like to do this pretty soon after I buy a new plant, but in this case I've had too many to do, so I haven't quite done them all, so yeah, I'm just catching up a bit with this one. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what we have here. There's some quite nice roots there. Now the plant's not root bound, but it's starting to come up a bit, but if you look here you can see there's still a fair amount of soil in there, so I wouldn't class this as root bound. Let's see what we've got. Oh, I think we've got the foam plugging. It's actually the worst kind for me personally because the foam is the hardest to remove. I much prefer the netting, it's so much easier to remove. So yeah, we've got foam here. And I'm not really an expert on how much these things affect the plant's roots growth. If I hold that up, I don't know if you can see, but there's like a green in there and that's foam. So basically the plant has been put on top of a piece of foam and then it's been grown, the roots have grown through the foam. And I really hate it when I find foam in them because, as I say, it's really difficult to remove compared to the netting. The kind of papery netting you get is quite easy to get off because you can cut it with scissors, but the foam, it's kind of very much being incorporated into the roots, so it does make my life a little bit more difficult. I don't know whether I should just leave it or try to take it off. It's quite a... I'll try and pick some of it off, let's see. I'll show you, you can see a bit better now in there. All that green stuff is the foam. And yeah, it's basically all the way around and then the roots are growing out, so it's kind of impossible for me to remove all of it. I have taken off as much as I can really without damaging the plant, so we're just going to carry on with this and put it back in the same pot probably. Does it need a bit of a bigger pot? Oh, it does need a little bit of a bigger pot, yes. Let's see what we've got for it. Yep, that will do just fine for this one. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that, but as I say, I'm just going to accept it as part of the plant's journey and get on with my life. You know, if it's part of growing plants in mass, then I'm just going to have to accept it. She'll give this a nice water through after as well. They're usually a bit wobbly until you water them through, I find, when you repot a plant. So that's going to be the best I can do for that plant. Hopefully it will be okay, but we'll see. I shall give it a good water through and get it settled in. But to be fair, it has been growing really well since I brought this one home. It's got new leaves coming in, so yeah, hopefully it won't affect it too much and it will be okay. So that's another job down. The next job on my list is going to be potting up these Tradescantias. These are also new plants and I haven't repotted them yet. I'm actually going to be potting these up together. They are two different varieties, but I thought it would be cool to combine them in the same pot. So let's see what we've got. Don't know what the roots are going to be like on these. I'm trying to be really gentle because this one feels very delicate. Although if any of it does break off, then it is really good for propagation, so I could propagate it, but I would like it not to break because that's not the plan right now. The plan is to put it in a new pot. There are some roots coming out of the bottom which are making it a little bit tough to get it out. Let's just give those a helping hand. And there we go. Yeah, so Tradescantia roots, as you can see, they're quite fine. So it's another one of those plants that's kind of got fine roots. And yeah, I think it's probably okay in that soil. As I said, I don't really like to break these ones up too much because with them having such fine roots, it's so much easier to break them. But Tradescantias can generally take a bit more of a denser soil anyway. But yeah, this is really awkward to handle. Kind of wishing I'd just left it now at this point, but I'm here now, so I'm going to have to do it. Oh my gosh, it's going everywhere. Why? Yeah, I think maybe I'm just going to have to leave it because the roots are literally so fine that it's impossible for me to... The problem is I can't put a different type of substrate in with this really, because what would happen then is when I water the plant, this would become more waterlogged than the other type of soil. So I'm going to have to just try and mix a bit more of a moisture retentive mix. So with that in mind, I'm just going to use this bag of cocoa coir, and I'm not going to use it, I mean, what's in here is just cocoa coir on its own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of mix some substrate that has more cocoa coir in it and only a little bit of perlite. So it's still getting a little bit of drainage, but the substrate that I'm adding is not too different to the one that it's in, so it won't cause any problems with watering, hopefully. I think that's what I'll do. Yeah, it's so weird how fine the Tradescantia's roots are. I'm really surprised by that. I've had a Tradescantia Nanook before. I can't actually remember what the roots were like on that one. But yeah, these are very, very fine. It's what I would term garden plants, I think, because you know, garden plants have fine roots like this. Okay, will I be able to get these in the same pot? I'm kind of wishing I'd have left these as they were, but just move that out of the way. Yeah, as I say, I'm here now, so I've got to do it. It's just, there's nothing to handle. The roots are so, so fine. This is, as I say, this is kind of my first experience of this type of Tradescantia. I've done the Nanook before, as I say, but this one is my first experience. So I think hopefully this is going to pay off and it's going to look really nice. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. It's very awkward to repot too. I'm going to have to give it a good old spraying down afterwards. I do like the effect of the two plants in the same pot though. I do really like that. So that was a good choice to make. I'm just trying to be ultra careful that I don't harm any of these bits. Again, just give it a spank. I do like that though. I think that looks really nice. So even though it's been a bit weird and awkward. Is that one hanging out? What's happening with that one? Yeah, it's very strange. Oh, there's some roots poking out there. I'll just pop them back in. Yes, it's a very weird plant. I think when you're used to the plants with the noodly roots, then you get one like this, it is a little bit weird, but it's a different type of plant, isn't it? So, and in the shop they actually had loads of these kind of Tradescantias. I probably would have showed you in the shopping video. They had some huge ones trailing from the ceiling. And yeah, these are fast growers. I mean, you can see how fast this has grown. I haven't even had it that long, really. But I shall give this a water through afterwards. And I'm making a mess. Absolutely everywhere, of course. It wouldn't be a repot without a mess, would it? Yeah, it's hard to know if I've filled all the pockets in there, really. Just going to have to rely on sheer hope here. Hoping for the best. It is a lovely plant, though. Well worth the effort. It's going to be a nice trailer, and I am starting to build up a few trailing plants now in my collection. I was kind of lacking trailing plants at one point. I had a lot of upright plants and I needed some trailing plants to kind of balance things out. You know, when you display plants, you want it to be, you want different plants, different heights to make the display look nice. Please don't break. Gosh. I really hope this isn't going to need repotting for another 2 years. A bit more roots there just popping out. Just need to pop them back in. I have a feeling this plant will recover pretty well from being repotted. It seems to be one of those hardy growers to me. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm done or not. I think I'm going to leave it there and then just water it through and see how far the soil sinks down. So that will do for now. Another job done. So the next very small repot job I want to do is this little baby Anthurium. This is obviously going to need just a little tiny pot. Oh, fungus gnat. Just seeing if there are any critters in here. Nope, I don't think so. It's actually not exactly root bound, but I'm glad that I took it out because Anthurium's like a chunky soil and this has got just dense, horrible soil. Which I should not be surprised about at all. So, and yep, does it have its little net there as well? Not sure if that's foam or... There's that little guy. Not too much of a bigger pot, but he's got a little bit more space to grow now, so still not sure what type of Anthurium this is, but it will be exciting to watch him grow and see what happens. I'm thinking that might actually be it for today. I'm getting very hot, especially in these gloves, so I think I'm going to go and get a drink and cool down. I hope you enjoyed the video today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, guys, look after your plants and look after yourself.